Hello everyone and welcome back to a new year of GamesQuestions. We're on episode 24. Let's get started. Before we start looking at both blogs today, we have a lot of questions regarding old school essentials, so I felt like it was best to address that first. Firstly, we would like to apologise to the publisher and backers for the delays that have been caused. There have been complications and mistakes made, which has resulted in fulfillment not being up to the standard we would expect. Secondly, we'd also like to apologise if there has been any confusion caused on this week's blog and a lack of communication in general. Regarding the lack of communication, we have been in regular communication with the publisher. It wasn't really our place to give an update on the matter while that was still ongoing, so apologies if we did give off the impression we weren't communicating. That wasn't our intention. We pride ourselves on providing you with as much information as possible. That's why the blog was created. That's why we're here with GamesQuestions to answer the questions you have. So to make this as clear as possible, I'm going to start off with the EU section of Old School Essentials. Yes, the stock is on site. There was a few issues locating the stock, and it is now being processed to begin fulfillment and is currently under the status of project data analysis. Fulfillment will begin as soon as possible. It is an urgent matter and we're working to get that out the door to you as soon as possible. For Old School Essentials UK, which I believe is where a lot of the confusion was caused on this week's blog, completely understand why. Apologies for not providing more information on that. So for the UK, it's currently marked as on the water. To clarify, we're currently in the process of shipping some of the stock from our EU hub to the UK hub to ensure we have enough for UK fulfillment. Once it's arrived, it will begin the process of being prepped for fulfillment. It is a top priority and an urgent matter to ensure that, once again, we get the goods to you as soon as possible. Once again, apologies for the delays caused on our behalf, and we're working extremely hard to resolve it. We've also had a lot of people asking about the fulfillment start date. EU will start ahead of the UK just whilst that stock transfer is underway. I don't currently have a start date for either EU or UK. All I can say is it's being processed urgently and is a top priority. And regarding UK fulfillment, as soon as I have more information to provide, of course I will. But yeah, that is the latest update for Old School Essentials. Hopefully that makes sense. If anyone does have any questions though, please feel free to reach out on social media, and if I have caused any confusion, I can clarify further. But yeah, that is Old School Essentials. So, on to the blogs now, as we do have additional questions for some other ongoing projects. So let's start off with the EU first this week. Okay, so I'm going to start off with Michael's question this week, who said, asking about the delays for Endangered Orphans, can you please give us a reason or estimated timeline when it will be finished? Thanks in advance. Yes, so of course. We were waiting for a stock transfer from the UK hub to our EU hub, and it has been confirmed that that stock has now arrived. So the remaining orders will begin to be processed to be fulfilled. I will also leave a link in the description box, or that will take you over to the Kickstarter page with the latest update that might hold some relevant information that might be useful to you. I'll try and make the blog more clear next week to why that is still underway, because it has been underway for a while. It was just waiting for the last stock to arrive so we could finish the remaining orders. So yeah, hope that helps. Okay, so the next question is from Cosmo. I see Artisans of Splendid Vale has got pushed up to your finished dispatch. I haven't received any email. Please feel free to reach out and we can check your order for you. You can quite happily just check to confirm that your order is on the system and if it has been dispatched yet. Next question is from Mike, who said, we have been told that We have been told by Ion that you're handling UK distribution for Stationfall. Apparently, shipment arrived in the UK on the 20th of December, but there's no mention of it anywhere on your fulfillment blog. Can you confirm the status? Thanks. Yes, Mike, that will now be added to the blog for next week. Apologies for that. And I can confirm that it's currently on site and in queue to begin project data analysis. But as just mentioned, it'll be added next week, so you can continue to follow the process for Stationfall in the meantime on the blog. Next question is from Marche, who said, where are we regarding Europa, the price of power, final administration checks? It's a bit vague for me. Could you please provide some estimate for the game to be delivered? Yes, I'll include a link in the description with a link to what all our headers mean. Hopefully that's helpful. However, in the meantime, the latest update for Europa for the EU orders is that the packaging is still being finalised. Mainly, I believe they're looking into different options for the maps and to see which one will work best. Once that's complete, it will pretty much be ready for fulfillment, so hopefully we'll see some movement on that soon. And the final question, I believe, on the EU blog this week is from Alvaro. So hello. And Starnova Deluxe Collection should be preparing for fulfillment, but couldn't see it on the list. Can you give more information? So we're currently in communication with the publisher and is still currently being prepared for fulfillment. And apologies that it was accidentally taken off the blog. It's up to the publishers whether they want to be on the blog, and we're just getting confirmation that it was 100% meant to be included. So yeah, apologies for that. It will be re-added for next week. But yeah, that's all the questions on the EU this week. So let's head over to the UK blog. The first question on the UK blog this week is from Helga, who said, great that Mosaic is finally being fulfilled. Was supposed to get this in January 22. Can't wait to finally get it. Do you have an estimate for when fulfillment will be finished for orders to Norway this week? Next week? Later. Yes, so the estimated time to deliver from our UK hub to Norway is between 5 to 10 days, but we'd usually say 2 weeks just to be safe. You should receive a tracking email once your order has been dispatched, so you can follow the process of your order then. If you do have any issues or concerns about your order, please reach out, and like I said, we're always happy to assist further if you're having any issues. So I hope that helps. The next question on the UK blog is from Charlie, who said, Artifact Games are dispatching dice tomes for you guys. From their post, you got it on the 29th of December, but there is nothing about it on your posts. Can you guys confirm they are either with you or are dispatched ready? Yes, so I've checked in with the team, and the publisher would like to be included on the blog, so that will be included for next week's. Apologies that it hasn't been included up to now. The latest update is that it's currently in project data analysis. So it is currently in the process of being prepared for fulfillment. So yeah, thanks for the question, and I hope that information is useful, and keep an eye out next week for it to be included on the blog. We have a few questions regarding Star Realms from Jack, Craig, Greg, and Martin. So hello. Yes, it was accidentally removed from the blog, same as the EU. I was just checking, we were just checking whether the publisher would like to be included on the blog, and that was a mistake on our behalf, so apologies for causing any confusion there. It will be re-added next week, so you will be able to follow progress of them projects, and they're still currently in the process of being prepared for fulfillment in the meantime. So yeah, apologies for the confusion there, everyone, and thank you for the questions. Okay, next question is from Chris regarding Herbalist Primer, and Chris has asked, it says Herbalist Primer is fully dispatched, but I'm waiting on the extras. I also have similar frustrations as others on Old School Essentials. Once again, apologies for the delays regarding Old School Essentials. Hopefully you caught the update at the beginning that provided the further information about that in the meantime. Regarding Herbalist Primer, we've left it listed on Fully Dispatched in the meantime with a link to the Kickstarter page, and just clarifying that in the meantime we were only dispatching the standard and limited edition books. We're still in communication with the publishers regarding the extras, and as soon as we have further information on what's happening with that, of course we'll include it on the blog, as provide as much information as we can so you are able to follow process in that, and just keep an eye on the Kickstarter page for updates. Okay, next question is from Ben regarding Blood and Plunder and was wondering what's going on with it. Firelock stated pre-Christmas that you had the stock and would be shipping in early January, then stated post-Christmas it would actually be February, and now you list it as on the water. Yes, so we're currently waiting for additional stock to arrive at our hub, which is why it's still currently stated as on the water. So hopefully that helps clear up that situation. But as soon as all the stock has arrived, we'll begin processing it for fulfillment. So yeah, thank you for the question, Ben. So we have one final question on the UK blog this week from Paul, who said, "Hi, Iron Game Designs have you guys down for their game Stationfall. The ship docked late last month, but I've not seen it on any of your fulfillment updates. Are you handling the game's fulfillment? If so, is it far down the queue that you aren't reporting on it?" Thank you for the question, Paul. It will be included on the blog next week, and apologies that it wasn't in advance. However, I can provide you the latest update, which is that it's currently on site and in the queue for fulfillment to begin. So hopefully that information is helpful in the meantime. Okay, and that is all the questions on both blogs this week. We will be back next week, so the blog goes out on Tuesday. Get your questions in by Thursday, and we can answer them then. And before I go, I just also wanted to apologise once more for the complications with Old School Essentials, and once we have further information on a possible timeline, we will provide that. Apologies that I cannot provide that this week, but hopefully the new additional information provided in the meantime has helped ease any concerns or miscommunication. But yeah, that's all from me for now, and I'll see you everyone next week. And in the meantime, I hope you all enjoy the rest of your week. Bye.